Yo, what's up homies? It's your boy Salvaje from the Salvaje Cartel, and I'm back at it again with another in-depth Save the World video. So in this video, I want to go a little bit more in-depth into my unkillable / god tier damage Paleo Luna build. And I just want to point out, it's not my build. Like, this build, a lot of players have done it, specifically the smart players. They're always able to determine what build is going to be really effective. I like to consider myself one of those smart players, so let's get right into it, okay? I did an infinite slasher build with Paleo Luna a while back, and that build basically focuses on getting the most out of your Spectral Blade and just eliminating big crowds of husks. But something that I noticed is that even though that build is very powerful at the endgame levels of play, you could definitely add more things to that build that are going to make it extremely powerful at all levels of play, including the endgame level activities. And that of course leads me forward to this loadout. Not a lot is going to change actually. On my infinite slasher build, we were going with Survivalist Jonesy, and the reason why we're going with Survivalist Jonesy is because we just wanted to be constantly regenerating our health. And since we get infinite slashes with our swords, we are of course going to be able to do that really easily. But for this god tier build with Paleo Luna, we're just going to be changing up one dude, and that dude is going to be Survivalist Jonesy. That's right. We're going to be putting in the homie Crossbones Barrett. And the reason for this is because the homie Crossbones Barrett can give us coconuts, okay? And of course, coconuts are going to be healing us. They're going to be healing us over time. And they're also going to be increasing the damage, as you guys can see here, by 16%, which means that we're going to be having a lot of damage when it comes down to the battlefield. Now, I just want to point out, I am aware that I can rock other heroes in this build, like Power Pop Penny, which every time that you get a heavy attack elimination, which is going to be pretty often, we're going to be getting more damage. But one of the reasons why I think this is the best build for Paleo Luna is because it offers mobility with the Spectral Blade, and Forge Fate is going to let us do that. But it also offers efficiency, and what I mean by efficiency is the amount of husks that we're going to be killing very quickly, right? So that's why, you know, for our loadouts, we're also going to be going with Forge Fate. Anyone can get her after you complete the Candy Valley Storm Shield Defense 2. We're going to be going with Anti-Cuddle Sarah. She's going to, of course, be giving us energy every time we get a melee weapon elimination. And she is absolutely a must-have. But if you don't have her for some reason, then I would absolutely recommend that you rock Power Pop Penny, because it's just going to make you a more powerful powerhouse, and it's going to basically make up for the fact that you're not going to be able to spam secondary attack with the Spectral Blade, right? Anyways, obviously we're going to be going with Blast from the Past, and we are going to be rocking the homie, I forgot his name, Fossil Southie. That's right, we're going to be rocking Fossil Southie and Prehistoric Isa. Prehistoric Isa is just going to be giving us damage resistance, and Fossil Southie is going to be giving us some energy as well, and that's going to be really helpful as well. As you guys can see by the gameplay in the background, every time that my health gets really low, I usually just pop a coconut, I regenerate my health to a pretty decent amount, I get that extra damage boost from the coconut, and the coconut is also going to be regenerating my health over time, which basically means that I'm unkillable with this loadout, right? As you guys have seen, or will probably see in the future, depending on how the community poll goes, right? One of the biggest weakness when it comes down to the ear splitter god tier damage build is, you know, things like propane, things like blasters, things like takers, things like refrigerator husk, bees. A lot of that build has a lot of weaknesses, but this Paleo Luna build doesn't really have any weaknesses at all whatsoever. And the reason for that is because, of course, we're going to be able to constantly be killing husks very quickly because of the increased damage that we're going to be getting from Blast from the Past. But most importantly, it's giving us mobility as well, which is going to help us stay alive, and it's giving us health regeneration, instant health when we consume a coconut, and extra damage as well. We also have the hover turrets as a possible gadget to run. You can either run the hover turret or you can run the slow field. The slow field is really helpful as well. And for the most part, it really just depends, right? If you want to hold a specific choke and a specific spawn with Paleo Luna, the slow field can definitely help out. Adrenaline Rush, the only reason why I run it is because sometimes I do find myself really low on health at the beginning of the match, when I'm trying to find coconuts, and I just want to be able to heal instantly. But I've noticed the more I use this build, the less necessary Adrenaline Rush is, specifically if you play smart in the early game, right? So yeah, you don't really want Adrenaline Rush. I would probably say rock the turret and a slow field, or if you want, you can even rock a banner for your teammates to spawn into, right? At the beginning of the match, by the way, we're moving on to how you're going to be maximizing this build, right? At the beginning of the match, you're going to be looking for coconuts. Keep in mind, you can only find coconuts from containers, so that's usually like stuff that's like indoors. You cannot find coconuts from grass, so don't loot grass. It's going to be a waste of time, right? So you want to be getting coconuts. I recommend that you at least have 10 coconuts, but 15 coconuts is usually like the sweet spot for those end game level missions that last a long time, like a Quad Atlas mission or a Retrieve the Data mission. That's pretty much it. Also, you guys want to make sure that you always activate the health boost. The health boost is really important because it's going to be increasing our health with Paleo Luna. The more health that we have, the more damage we're going to do with our melee, of course. This is thanks to the perk that Luna has, that 16% of our current health will be added to melee weapon damage. And if you guys want, you can also activate the energy boost so that you guys can get more value out of your Spectral Blade and your sword. And that's pretty much it. Then the match is gonna start. Every time that your health goes down to a pretty substantial amount, you want to just eat a coconut so that you can get that damage boost. When you're fighting a high priority target like a smasher, for example, maybe you want to consume a coconut before you fight that smasher, and that's going to be helping you guys out as well. Look, let's talk about the weapon of choice, because a lot of people say Stab Sword the Third or Spectral Blade when it comes down to Paleo Luna, and it's always going to be the Spectral Blade. This is going to be the best weapon for Paleo Luna at the time I'm making this video. The Spectral Blade just doesn't compare. Like the Stab Sword the Third doesn't even come close to being as good as the Spectral Blade. First of all, the Spectral Blade, you can have triple attack speed on it, right? And that's why I have this Spectral Blade here, because I'm going to give it triple attack speed. But something that I've noticed is that the attack speed is completely irrelevant, because one of the biggest ways that you're going to be maximizing this build is by using the secondary attack and by finishing off a couple of targets with a primary attack, to then, of course, use the secondary attack to kill a lot of targets, as you guys are seeing in the gameplay in the background. So a weapon that you absolutely must have for this build is the Spectral Blade, because that AoE attack, that lunge attack that the Spectral Blade has, it's really good for dishing out a lot of damage, killing a lot of husks, getting a lot of energy, which is basically going to let you get your infinite slashes in. When your energy runs down, of course, like I previously said, you want to look for a couple of targets around to sort of renew your energy. Another tactic that I have with this loadout is I always like to guard a specific spawn, but in this gameplay in the background, it was just me, a defender, and 2 other teammates of mine. And I knew that my teammates were sort of struggling a little bit despite the fact that we had traps. So what I do with Paleo Luna is I like to sort of guard, either multiple spawns or just one spawn. You just have to have the game sense in Fortnite Save to decide what's going to be best for your team, right? So that's pretty much all up to you. What if you don't have a Spectral Blade? Well, that's very unfortunate. If you have a Guardian's Will, the Guardian's Will is also going to be pretty decent, but it's not going to be as good as the Spectral Blade or the Stab Sword the Third, right? If you can get yourself a Stab Sword the Third, which is a base game weapon, and if you guys can get it with double attack speed, it's going to help out a lot, right? The secondary attack that the Stab Sword has is also really good. The attack speed is going to be able to melt husks that are in front of you extremely quickly. It's going to be able to help you do a lot of damage, right, to all sorts of high priority targets. But the Spectral Blade is definitely something that is just too good, man. And it's most likely going to be coming back in the game by winter of 2019. So be on the lookout for it, right? Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. That's how you maximize this God tier, unkillable Paleo Luna build. This is by far the best Paleo Luna build that I have ever used. I have considered using a couple of the brand new heroes with this loadout, but honestly, I think this is the most effective loadout that we have with Paleo Luna at the moment, and that's why in this video I want to share with you guys. If you want more quality Save the World content, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and make sure that you like the video. You know, use my creator code, that's appreciated as well, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.